Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai. All praise, honor, and infinite glory goes to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who rule well. Incite these to the elect that push the truth in all sincerity. Sincere shalom to the hopeful elect that keeps their garments clean and do the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. The way Yahweh Shem Yahushai for allowing me to do another video. Today's video I want to talk about do not be deceived by the teats. Government support. Okay, so Biden, okay, he's been passing a whole bunch of different orders and whatnot, okay, and he's been basically talking about how he really wants to help out the Americans, okay, during the pandemic. He wants to basically help them out with, different bills that they may have. He wants to slow those down, or he wants to give more money for a stimulus check, okay, and a whole bunch of other stuff, okay. So just because America gives you support, okay, they have all these government programs and all that, okay. He was also talking about food stamps and all that. He was talking about extending food stamps, okay. Just because the government gives you these support systems and all that, just because Biden is doing these, well, he's saying he's doing these things, but I mean, he could actually be doing it, but just because they're doing these things, don't get all twisted and now think Babylon the Great is a righteous place that needs to go on for eternity. Don't start thinking that, okay? Okay, these people are still on their agenda, and they're still, okay, looking, all right, to implement the New World Order, okay? They're still on the New World Order agenda, pushing it hard at a high degree. Do not get deceived just because now all of a sudden, oh shit, damn, Biden, he's giving more money for stimulus or whatever, okay? Oh shit, Biden, he sees that people are getting unemployed and stuff, and now he's helping out in that area. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever it may be, because we're about to play this video where he's talking about a couple of these things that that he wants to do and stuff that he wants to give. Okay? So do not get deceived by these gifts, stuff like that, okay? Don't get deceived because the government, okay, has all these programs and whatnot, okay? Because all that, okay, all that is going to be, this will be taken away. This will be a period where, this will be a time where you cannot go to the government for your sweet help, okay? Where they're not going to be able to do, where they're not going to be doing all that, okay? There'll be a time where that's the case, okay? Now you're all hooked on the government. You're in love with the government. You love this place. And they take it away, man, you're going to cry. You could be all messed up, okay? You'll be all messed up, jacked up. You see? You see? So let's actually get that scripture before we even play the video. This is Isaiah 32:12. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. Okay, so there you go. All right. Let's read it again. Isaiah 32:12. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. So it's going to be a period where you'll be crying, okay? We don't got them, that government support, okay? Because that's what the teats is going into, okay? Let's talk about that support, okay? That government support, okay? Great Babylon supporting you, okay? Keeping you afloat, helping you out, okay? You see what I'm saying? So there's going to be a time where it's going to be gone, okay? So when it's gone and they're all crying, why are they crying? Why are they all messed up? Because they're so in love with the different so-called benefits and whatnot that America gives, okay? These gifts, okay? So don't get all, basically don't get all deceived, okay? Don't get deceived, okay? Because now Biden's giving you stimulus checks and all that. He's up in the money. If he actually goes through like that, don't get all deceived now thinking that America's a great place, that Biden, he's a great man, that the New World Order agenda is slowed down. Don't think none of that, all right? Don't lose your edge, okay? Don't get simple. Hey, might as well go through the scripture now. Ecclesiastes 7:7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, okay? And yes, we are oppressed, okay? But maketh a wise man mad. Now, why is a wise man mad? Because he's wise to see that this place is full of folly, okay? Folly and just a bunch of wickedness, okay? And he sees that his people are being oppressed. He sees the oppression. He basically sees the hell he's in, okay? He sees the hell he's in, okay? All right? And then he's mad. Scriptures talk about to be mad, but sin not, okay? So it's not like he's going off because he's mad, okay? But at the end of the day, the wise man being mad, okay? Oppression sure maketh a wise man mad because he sees that he's in oppression. He sees the hell, okay? And Israel is in oppression. Now, this guy Biden, he was talking about, well, we gotta help the black community. We have to help the North. We have to help the Hispanics. We have to help them out. We have to do this. And he was talking about stuff that he wants to do for black people and all that, okay? So-called black people, okay? That does not mean now all of a sudden you're not in oppression. It does not mean that you know what I'm saying? It does not mean that you're still under curses, okay? The other nations are still all messed up over you in terms of they're still racist and all that, okay? Still have that hate, okay? You see? You see what I'm saying? And then he was also talking about like some program for to stop racism and stuff, like a program where he wants people to basically a program where he wants. It's a program where he wants people to like be aware of racism, something like that, something along those lines. He was talking about something to that effect. You see what I'm saying? So now that black people can be more accepted and all that stuff, okay? Does not mean that all of a sudden now America is a righteous place to live in, okay? Don't get deceived and all messed up thinking that, okay? You see what I'm saying? Let's say he actually did something like that and so-called, okay? So-called now, things are what you will call easier for the so-called black people where they have more government stuff or, there might be more areas where, they could apply to jobs or, less so-called discrimination, whatever. Because the thing is, back then, right, versus now, if we were, for example, if we were to be preaching the truth back then, we couldn't do that. You see what I'm saying? We couldn't do that, okay? But now the Most High put the Spirit where we can actually go out and preach and then, the Lord's with us and everything's good, okay? But back then we couldn't preach in those times, okay? You see what I'm saying? Just getting out during slavery, getting out of slavery. Yeah, those times, nah, okay? But this time period that we're in now, we can do that, okay? You see what I'm saying? So, that does not mean now all of a sudden Israel is in a good, what you would call, Israel's what you would say, everything's all good now, okay? Does not mean now we don't still are not oppressed because Jake is still broke as hell, okay? Jake is still broke as hell, still stupid as hell, still destroyed as hell, okay? They still just have Jake down. They twist different laws to keep Jake down, okay? Still got the abortion clinics, okay? They still try to market these different things that are geared towards destruction, towards us, okay? Jake is still a fucking he's still a piece of shit. Okay, he's still in complete oppression under Esau, even though we've been for the whole time, for this whole entire time. Now, yes, the chains are off, but now we're mentally slaves. Okay, you see what I'm saying? And yes, someone may say, well, you blacks, you never used to vote. Now you can vote. Or you blacks, now you can go to college. Now you see what I'm saying? They may say that. Oh, you have opportunity, so you can be able to. You can actually own a business and stuff. You see what I'm saying? So they think because of that, now all of a sudden oppression's done. Now all of a sudden people Esau doesn't hate us. You see what I'm saying? Well, if you were walking down the street with a white woman, people won't look at it that bad, because back then, if you used to do that, you would get lynched on the spot. You see what I'm saying? So just because it's because the thing is, these things never went away. Okay? Just because it's so-called better in terms of it's softer, you don't it's not like, basically it looks better, it's so-called better, okay? Because Jake still get lynched at a high rate now. Okay? It's just secret now. Okay? Okay? You see? So just because it looks so-called better, a black person can get a business, go to college, all that goofy shit, okay? All right? Oh, having a business, it's not goofy, but you know what I mean. But all that shit where you're relying on America, being in love with America, and all that goofy shit, okay? All right? The American dream, all that stuff, just because Jake can so-called do some of these things, that does not mean all of a sudden now he's not oppressed, okay? Because still within those particular things that he's doing, they're still strong-holding him or doing extra laws adding on to keep him down. For example, when Jake's started going to school and all that, they literally sabotaged schools where there's particular schools that obviously Jake can go to, okay? There's only Jake schools, all right? And in those particular schools, they made sure that education was just garbage, you see? So even though Jake's like, oh, you're off the chains now. You can go to school. But even in those school systems, they literally sabotage it where Jake ain't learning shit. Jake ain't learning nothing, okay? You see what I'm saying? It's still dumb. You see? You see? So, or even, yeah, not, whatever bullshit, come off, okay? Whatever bullshit. Basically, Jake is still in oppression. And just because you don't got physical chains on you does not mean that you're not in oppression. Just because you can so-called go to school now does not mean you're not in oppression. Just because you can so-called open a business does not mean you're in so-called oppression. Okay? Okay? And like I said, just because it's so-called better, okay? You're not getting whipped 24/7, all that stuff, okay? It's so-called better. You can do these particular things, okay? Jake has that so-called ability like that. You're still going through hell. And like I said, it's just a different type of hell that they twisted through the law. They twisted it, okay? They're like, oh shit, we can't just upright beat their ass. We can't just upright oppress them. So we got to oppress them in other ways, okay? So just because Biden may pass a couple things, okay? You know, it seems like things are getting better for black people. It seems like, it looks like, oh, it seems like this isn't that. Oh, I'm able to go into these particular realms or whatever where maybe I would have been looked at where I couldn't be able to go there in some business realm or whatever, or job opportunity wise, whatever it may be. You see? Because Biden might implement those programs. You can't be racist towards black people just because of this for jobs and all that. See? And now all of a sudden black people can just squirm their way into different small places just because of that small little thing. It does not mean now all of a sudden things are great, okay? Because like I said, even those particular things that they so-called give black people, they destroy it, make it bad. Because when we went to school, okay? They made sure it's shitty, okay? And school, it's, the way that the way that's designed the curriculum, okay? It's already designed off, okay? You see? You see? And they're taking advantage out of the school system, flat out just, really just trying to train you up as a slave, really. Trying to train you up because they didn't want the parents to train them, okay? So that's why they're like, okay, this is a good thing that we can have schools where the government can train the kids, okay, and learn to rely on the government. The kids can learn to rely on the government, not rely on their parents and all that. You see? So that was part of the school system. So you damn right, you know that they're on that with Jake, trying to make sure that Jake is a good slave. He has that coon-ass mentality, okay? He has a coony-ass mentality, okay? That's the origin of these damn schools, if you go into it, okay? You see? Okay. So the particular things that seems good, okay? It's basically like a backhanded trap, okay? It's like an extra thing that's added, and it's a backhand trap, okay? You see? Okay? Or if it's a thing that may be so-called good, like stimulus check, they're giving stimulus checks or whatever, okay? And let's say he's like, oh, for black people, I'm gonna give them more stimulus check. Let's say like that. You see? Even that, Jake, what's Jake gonna do with it? He's gonna act a fool, okay? What's gonna happen to him? Let's keep reading. Well, let's read it again. Ecclesiastes 7:7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. So, giving Jake all these gifts and all that, okay? Knowing how Jake is, okay? Jake is just gonna be just out of his mind, just all coony and just accepting Esau, okay? You see what I'm saying? Jake is all of a sudden gonna say, oh, well, slavery didn't happen, okay? All right? All these different things that you did to me, Esau did not happen, just because he gives him a couple gifts, okay? Now, obviously, I'm focused on Jake right now, but Scripture says a gift destroys the heart, so, you have to watch out, because you don't want to be all jackass, like, oh, shit, they give me a gift. Someone gives me a gift, okay? All right? You see what I'm saying? And then now, all of a sudden, you're like, oh, shit, well, hey, everything's all good now. Life is just great, see? Because that's how people go. That's how people get when they get gifts, okay? You see what I'm saying? So Esau giving gifts and all that destroys Jake. See? That's an example of someone getting a gift and being destroyed, okay? A gift destroyed the heart, which heart meaning lab, which means mind, okay? The Hebrew word for heart is lab, which means mind, okay? You see? So Jake, okay, if he got so much stimulus and all that, okay, that does not mean everything's all good now. Does not mean that now all of a sudden life is just great for Israel and we're not in oppression, okay? You see? Because Jake, his heart's could be destroyed, okay? All right? From that, now he's going to love Esau even more, okay? And then Esau could try and do some more backhanded stuff, okay, that may seem good, but it's actually just a trap. Just to trap Israel, okay? So don't be an idiot thinking that everything's fine, that we're not in oppression, okay? Because you're not in physical chains. You're in mental chains and chained in a whole bunch of other different ways through these particular laws that they have, okay? You see? Okay? And a whole bunch of other ways too, okay? So we're still in this hellhole, and the only pure salvation is Yahweh Shem Shai. Only. That's the only salvation, okay? Because Jake's gonna think, oh, if I get a whole bunch of stimulus checks, oh, he just, like Jake, let's say like Biden's giving just only Jake a whole bunch of stimulus checks, way more. Let's just say you did that. Jake could be like, wow, what's wrong with this place? They're giving me money, man. What's wrong with Egypt? You see, that's just not right. That's not right. Because this place is a wicked place, and this is not a place that you're supposed to have confidence in. Okay, you're supposed to have confidence in Yahweh Shemel Shai. Okay, not living amongst heathens, getting gifts, okay, getting stimulus checks and thinking that life is good. No. We're supposed to be a ruling nation, ruling the planet Earth, not baby, what you would call, not little crumbs off the table, free crumbs off the table. Okay, you see, so there you go. Okay, all right. So let's play the video and then get the last precept.
Yesterday, we learned that 900,000 more Americans file for unemployment. 900,000. They join millions of Americans who, through no fault of their own, have lost the dignity and respect that comes with a job and a paycheck. So many of them never thought they'd ever be out of work in the first place. And just like my dad did when he used to lie awake at night when I was a kid, staring at the ceiling, unable to sleep because he worried about whether or not he was about to lose his health care or whether we were going to have the money to pay the mortgage because of the economic circumstance he was in. And now a lot of these folks are facing eviction, are waiting hours in their cars, literally hours in their cars, waiting to be able to feed their children as they drive up to a food bank. It's the United States of America, and they're waiting to feed their kids. Folks who are able to still keep their job, many have seen their paychecks reduced, and they're barely hanging on and wondering what's next. Sometimes the anxiety about what's going to happen next is more consequential than what actually happened. But this is happening today in America. And this cannot be who we are as a country. These are not the values of our nation. We will not let people go hungry. We cannot let people be evicted because of nothing they did themselves. They cannot watch people lose their jobs, and we have to act. We have to act now. It's not just to meet the moral obligation to treat our fellow Americans with the dignity and respect they deserve. This is an economic imperative, a growing economic consensus that we must act decisively and boldly to grow the economy for all Americans, not just for tomorrow, but in the future. There's a growing chorus of top economists that agree that at this moment of crisis, with the interest rates as low as they are, historic lows, it is smart fiscal investment, including deficit spending, and they're more urgent than ever. And that return on these investments in jobs and racial equity is going to prevent long-term economic damage and benefits that are going to far surpass their cost. If we don't act, the rest of the world is not standing still in terms of their competitive advantage or the competitive possibilities relative to us.
And the thing is, all these different stuff, okay, that you saw, these little gifts, teats, and all that stuff, that's not what Jake needs. Jake needs the Lord, okay? All right? That's what he needs. He doesn't need, okay, to be amongst the damn Edomites in this wicked-ass society getting teats, okay? That's not what Jake needs, okay? Being in Egypt, okay? You see what I'm saying? That's not what he needs, all right? He needs the Most High and his son, okay? That's what he needs, okay? And Esau is doing all of his best to not give Jake that, okay? That's not what Esau wants, okay? That's not what he wants for Jake, So, we obviously know Jake hates the truth, rejects the truth, so Jake, he's gonna keep being wicked and just being in love with his oppressor. You see, so he's gonna be in love with different things that the government provides. He already is, but whatever may be increased, whatever may be, whatever added, whatever it may be, Jake, man, just gonna take it and get destroyed of the heart. Okay, so his heart's gonna be destroyed. He'll be all like, "Oh shit, damn, he's a good man." See?
That our debt situation will be more stable and not less stable, according to these economists, and that such investments in our people is going to strengthen our economic competitiveness as a nation and help us outcompete our competitors in the global economy, because we're going to grow the economy with these investments. While the COVID-19 package that passed in December was the first step, as I said at the time, it's just a down payment. We need more action, and we need to move fast. Last week, I laid out a two-step plan of rescue and recovery to get through the crisis and to a better and stronger and more secure America. The first step of our American Rescue Plan is a plan to tackle the pandemic and get direct financial relief to Americans who need it the most. You know, in just a few days, it's just been a few days since I outlined this plan, and it's received bipartisan support from a majority of American mayors and governors. Businesses and labor organizations have together welcomed it as an urgent action that's needed. Even Wall Street firms have underscored its importance. In fact, an analysis by Moody's estimates that if we pass our American Rescue Plan, the economy would create 7.5 million jobs just in this year alone. That would be on the way to the more than 18 million, I think it was 18,600,000 jobs that they believe would be created over the 4-year period with our Build Back Better recovery plan. And with our American Rescue Plan, our economy would return to full employment a full year faster than without the plan. Even President Trump's now, not some liberal organization, President Trump's top former economic advisor, Kevin Hassett, said, quote, he absolutely is in favor of this rescue plan. This almost doesn't have a partisan piece to it. We're seeing the support because this plan takes a step that we so urgently need, more than just a step, number of steps. It funds big parts of the COVID-19 national strategy that we released yesterday. Our national strategy puts us on a war footing to aggressively speed up our COVID-19 response, especially on vaccines and testing and reopening our schools. I found it fascinating. Yesterday, the press asked the question, is 100 million enough? Week before, they were saying, Biden, you crazy? You can't do 100 million in 100 days. Well, we're going to, God willing, not only do 100 million, we're going to do more than that. But we have to do this. We have to move. The American Rescue Plan also includes economic relief for most Americans who are in need. We're going to finish the job of getting a total of $2,000 in direct payments to folks. $600, which was already passed, is simply not enough if you still have to choose between paying your rent, putting food on the table. We'll extend unemployment insurance benefits for millions of workers beyond the deadline that's now set. It means that 16 million Americans who are currently relying on unemployment benefits while they look for work can count on these checks continuing to be there in the middle of this crisis. The American Rescue Plan also addresses the growing housing crisis in America.
And he said to continuously rely on those checks that can be there. See? So that's the thing. You getting hooked up on this place, okay? All right, you relying, okay, on those gifts in terms of you really seeing America like that's your support system, okay? There's be a time when those teats are gone, okay? All right? Because you just wholeheartedly believe in America. That's how these Americans, that's what they are. That's what they do. They wholeheartedly believe in America, okay, in this system. But this system, okay, is a wicked system. It's a system of death. And you, all right, worshiping the system, you will be destroyed, okay? You will be destroyed, okay? You relying in the fact of thinking that this is your end-all, be-all, You see? Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying getting a stimulus check that's wicked. I'm not saying that at all. Hell no. I'm just saying, like, basically people think, okay, oh shit, stimulus check, okay, America's so great. America's helping me out, okay? America's doing all these different things. America's just so great and just a place that, basically they have their soul here, okay? You can't have your soul here, okay? You see? They don't see the need to. Well, obviously Jake, okay, because the heathens can't worship the Lord, but Jake doesn't see a need for the Lord. He really doesn't. He really thinks that America's A-okay to protect him. Everything's fine. You see what I'm saying? He doesn't think that he needs the Most High and His Son. Because another perspective, he doesn't even realize that the very guy that he's relying on, that's the very guy that you need to be shielded from, okay? That you need protection from. Because that very guy that you're relying on to help you out in your day-to-day life, that same guy is going to mess you up, okay? You see?
14 million Americans, 14 million, have fallen behind on rent, and many risk eviction. If we fail to act, there will be a wave of evictions and foreclosures in the coming months as this pandemic rages on, because there's nothing we can do to change the trajectory of the pandemic in the next several.
Okay, I'll skip a little bit. Slovakia. Okay,
This is going to help tens of millions of families, especially those who can't provide meals for their kids, who are learning remotely at home, are not receiving the regular meal plans that they have at school for breakfast or lunch. We also need to protect the health and safety of the American worker. Right now, approximately 40% of households in America have at least one member with a pre-existing condition. Just imagine, you're out of work through no fault of your own. You file for unemployment while you're looking for a job. You find one, and you get an offer. But then you find out there's a high risk of you getting infected with COVID-19 because of your condition. You and your loved ones have ever even greater risk of death and serious illness because of the pre-existing conditions. So you turn it down. Right now, if you did that, you could be denied unemployment insurance because you're offered a job, you didn't take it. It's wrong. No one should have to choose between their livelihoods and their own health or the health of their loved ones in the middle of a deadly pandemic. Because of the executive order I'm about to sign, I expect the Department of Labor to guarantee the right to refuse employment that will jeopardize your health, and if you do so, you'll still be able to qualify for the insurance. That's a judgment the Labor Department will make. Look, there are just two consequential ways that the action I'm taking today will help people in need. Another way to help approximately 2 million veterans maintain their financial footing by pausing federal collections on overpayments and debts are being made available to build things from ships to staircases. They're not going to have to pay till September. They still pay the bill as it stands now. But to pause student loan repayments, these crises are straining the budgets of states and cities and tribal communities that are forced to consider layoffs and service reductions among essential workers. Police officers, firefighters, first responders, nurses, they're all at the risk of losing their jobs. Over the last year, more than 600,000 educators have lost their jobs in cities and towns. The American Rescue Plan would provide emergency funding to keep these essential workers on the job and maintain essential services. Look, it will also help small businesses that are the engines of our economic growth. Businesses survive the pandemic, and low-cost capital to help entrepreneurs of all backgrounds create and maintain jobs, plus provide essential goods and services that communities so desperately depend on. Look, our recovery plan also calls for an increase in the minimum wage at least $15 an hour. So look, this would overwhelm emergency shelters, increase COVID-19 infections as people have nowhere to go and can't socially distance. The American Rescue Plan asks Congress to provide.
Okay, so that's him talking about some stuff. Okay, yeah, there's also, he was also talking about Jake too and stuff. And he was talking about the North Kingdom and he was talking about the South Kingdom. He was talking about, yeah, we have to help out the blacks and stuff and we have to help out the Hispanics. See? Watch the rest of the video. But this right here is Surah 12 and 16. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. Okay? If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. He will shake his head and clap his hands, and whisper much, and change his countenance. Okay? So, don't be fooled by America. Okay? Don't be fooled by Great Babylon. Okay? Of them giving you little gifts, stimulus checks and all that. Okay? All right? Talking about all these different stuff. Don't be fooled by that. Okay? All right? Don't be fooled, because at the end of the day, okay, Babylon the Great, okay, is a demonic, wicked society, okay, and they're looking, all right, to do great evil, will continue to do great evil, okay? They're just going to continue on that path, continue on the New World Order, all right, okay? Continue to have Jake down, all jacked up, messed up, okay? You know? See what I'm saying? Okay? Remember, like I said, Jake is still oppressed. He's still messed up. Okay? All right? Don't get deceived by something that may seem that it looks better. Like, oh, times are better now. When Jake is still getting lynched at a high rate. When Jake is still broke as hell, stupid as hell. Come on, man. You see? All right? And the ultimate thing we need, the only thing we need is Yahweh Shem Shai. And Great Babylon would not dare talk about that. He wouldn't. Great Babylon's not giving you that. Okay? All right? So don't be an idiot. Okay? It says he will not be satisfied with blood. Verse 16. He's not satisfied with just death. He really wants your soul. He wants to really destroy your spirit, your livelihood. He wants to destroy your spirit. He doesn't just want to kill you. Okay? Even though he's going to do that to Jake. But he wants your soul. Okay? You know? He wants you mentally all messed up. Okay? You see? And that's exactly what Esau is looking to continue in, and looking to do it even at a higher rate, at a higher time that has never been seen before. Okay? Okay? Along with, obviously, straight up, putting Jake Smooth to death. Okay? All right? Seeking that blood. Okay? You see? You know? And the ultimate thing we need is the Lord. That's what we need. Okay? So though he pretend to help thee, okay, yet shall he undermine thee, okay? Because what we need is the Lord, not these gifts, these teats. And the ultimate recompense is order, okay? The thing is, Esau, okay, talk about justice and all that. Since he talk about justice, okay, what is justice? You need to go to slavery, okay? That's one thing. That's one component of justice, that you need to go to slavery, Esau, okay? But then Esau could say, no, we can't do all that. You can't just get reparations? No, hell no. You see? You see? So, hey man, don't be fooled, okay, by these little things, okay, that E's trying to do, okay? Don't be fooled by that. Now thinking that the New World Order is not an accelerating plan. It's still not in a accelerating, that's still not going. That's not true, okay? So, I hope this lesson is edifying, all right? Shalom.